Nice to see Hartbeat back on the telly. Now, look out, coming to your telly, the Tracy Brothers.
Hot Info.
It's Wednesday night, round 4:30. Make yourself a cup of soup and close the door and watch that noise. Hey, what's that noise, baby? I'll tell you. Watch that noise.
Hey, tell me all about it, boy.
'Cause it's the music show that everyone's been waiting for. Rock and pop and soul and jazz, a couple of terribly hunky presenters who could ask for more. It's Watch That Noise. Take it to the bridge, Virgil. Ow, 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 ow.
Terribly Hunky, where did they get that idea? Worst Day of My Life is a new comedy drama that starts tomorrow afternoon at 4:35. Grange Hill is in 10 minutes after Newsround with Krishnan.
Rescue plan for 500,000 people as Pakistan's floods get worse. And coining it in, the appeal that's made old 5p's worth a mint. Hello. In Pakistan, around 500,000 people are being airlifted to safety away from the devastating floods. So far, around 2,000 people have been killed and many more are homeless. Heavy rain started to fall last week. The floods that followed have wrought terrible destruction. Worst hit are the areas of northern and eastern Pakistan, but also affected are parts of Indian Kashmir, where a further 300 people are feared dead. With water levels still rising, some are already calling it Pakistan's worst natural disaster this century. The army are using helicopters to throw supplies to some of those stranded. Others are being flown out of danger. People are using almost anything they can to escape the flood. Old tyres are carrying these people to safety. Others make it to dry land in what looks like a huge frying pan. Now the race is on to protect areas further downriver. The army is having to build the riverbanks up, letting the water flow into safe areas which have been evacuated. The level of water in Pakistan's biggest river, the Indus, is expected to reach danger point later this week. In Britain, while the government's promising more emergency aid, Pakistanis living here have organised their own help. A warehouse in Birmingham's already filling up with donations ready to send out to the disaster area. Britain's giving another £7.5 million to help the people of Somalia. The announcement was made after a visit to the East African country by the Overseas Development Minister, Baroness Chalker. For Newsround, Joanna Robinson reports.
Hundreds of people are still dying in Somalia every day. In this town, Baroness Chalker was able to see for herself the suffering and misery caused by the famine. She said she was impressed by the work being done and was determined that Britain would continue to help. Later, she met soldiers who'd arrived from Pakistan. They're forming part of the United Nations Protection Force, which will guard food and medical supplies as they're taken to those in need. Somalia is still a very dangerous place because of the war being fought within the country. In the past, relief workers have been attacked and food stolen. Meanwhile, late last night in Kent, an Oxfam relief flight was being loaded for Somalia. On board were clothes, food, medical supplies, and also seeds and planting equipment so that the people may be able to start growing their own crops again. In the early hours of this morning, the plane took off, with Newsround's Paul Welsh on board, following the aid to its journey's end.
7 young people from Albania have begun a 2-week visit to Northamptonshire to meet some of the fundraisers who helped to get desperately needed aid to their country. Pupils at the Henry Gotch School in Kettering were struck by the plight of Albania's orphans and helped raise thousands of pounds. Newsround's Terry Badu reports.
This song, written and recorded by the teachers and pupils of the Henry Gotch School at the end of last year, was at the forefront of a fundraising campaign to help the starving children of Albania. Nine months on, and while Albania is still coming to terms with its problems, some things have changed for the better.
Thank you.
These students are the winners of an English language competition. Their prize is to visit some of the pupils who raise funds to help their country.
We've been doing a lot of fundraising for the Albanians, and we've been really wanting to meet them, so now they're here. It's terrific, sort of seeing how they are.
This morning I looked at the houses. They were splendid. Yes, it is a beautiful town, beautiful town. Well, and my friend is very pretty. Very nice to me.
Press caps and you're ready to come out.
Having arrived in Britain last night, the Albanian students were given a whistle-stop tour around the Henry Gotch classrooms, seeing some of the facilities that Albanian pupils can only dream about.
We have missed a lot of information, and now we need it. And I think the Western world, if they want to help us, they are going to give not only economic help, but also just helping us by books, but information, by everything like this.
Scientists working 165 miles above the Earth on the space shuttle Endeavour were today peering into glass jars of frog spawn. They want to find out if tadpoles will develop in the normal way when there's no gravity. So they took frog spawn with them into space. Already, some of them have begun to hatch. The experiment will help them work out whether it will be possible for children to grow up in outer space in the future. The mission's due to end at the weekend. And finally, children across Britain have helped track down thousands of old, out-of-date 5p pieces to raise money for the NSPCC. Here's more from Juliet.
Old 5p pieces can't be used anymore. They've been replaced by a smaller coin. But at the National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children, the coins held the key to a potential gold mine. The Royal Mint, which melts down old coins and makes new ones, promised to give the NSPCC a new 5p for every old one they could get their hands on, so all of us were asked to help. This is the result. More than £30,000 worth of old 5p's, uncovered from behind the backs of sofas, in piggy banks, cupboards and drawers. Well, with just a little bit of digging around, it's amazing what you can come up with. People up and down the country have discovered more than 600,000 of these old 5p's, a lot of which are more than 20 years old. The organisers of the appeal are delighted and very grateful to everyone who's helped them to help children. Jill Ray from Boots the Chemist, which acted as the appeal's main collection points, explained.
It's been absolutely fabulous, it really has. We've had everybody bringing old 5p coins in, so there are obviously a lot around the country, but particularly children, scout troops, brownie troops, schools, they've all gone home and dug around and found all these old coins. So I really would like to say a big thank you to everybody, they've been wonderful.
Now that the appeal's closed, the coins will be sent to the Royal Mint to be melted down and turned into shiny new ones. This is Juliet Morris for Newsround in Nottingham.
That's it. Until tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Tasty Drama.
Once they lived in a village by the sea, then they lost everything and life was never the same again. Village by the Sea, a brilliant new drama starting next Tuesday. And Village by the Sea is at 5:10, only here on CBBC. Exactly. Now, if you enter Dublin's Carlisle competition, find out if you're a winner after we've seen today's Grange Hill.